Greetings and welcome to another Walking Dead review, everybody. I'm Devin.
I'm Steve.
Alright, so what's the name of this episode that we just saw?
The name of this episode is Forget. So last week
shit,
was...
Really?
Yeah. So last week it was Remember, and this week's is Forget.
I'm just going at this right now. Alright, so what did you think, first off, right now?
Remember last week when I was like, hey, this is going to be one of those Walking Dead things where, like, this episode was good and it needed to happen, and then they're just going to draw it out for the rest of the season, or for the next couple episodes.
And it was. It did draw it out, but there were some key parts which did set up character development and what they thought of it.
Well, yeah, because they need to, but it was just like, nothing happened.
Yeah, there's stuff that happened.
Not really.
Right,
the stuff that happened could have happened in 10 minutes. And then they got 40 minutes of just plain old BS.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So, basically the episode starts out with Sasha, like, just waking up, and she was just like, nah, not happy. So she's just taking photos and, like, photographs that were in the house of, like, random people, and she just went out the wall and just started shooting them. And then, like, she just got, like...
upset, depressed.
Everything, basically. And she just sat there and just, like, come get me. So she's, like... She's not liking the place at all. And she doesn't really like the entire atmosphere.
There's a lot of people who aren't really fitting in well. There's a lot of people who are, or who are trying to.
Yeah, so, next we got Rick, Carol, and Daryl want to get some ammunition.
They're basically they're kind of like the three heads of the group.
Well, of course, they always...
Because they've been there forever. Really yeah.
Day one.
Yeah. So they, they're planning to steal some of the handguns as just like a safe, just in case something were to happen now that they're armed, and not so that their weapons are all locked up and then they can't do anything.
Yeah.
So they kind of do that later in the episode. We see.
Oh yeah, Maggie's like right hand of the governor, the mayor.
Yeah.
Chick. So like that's a little thing that had to be added. Rick is actually doing a little bit putting his foot down in police work and everything.
He is.
So like he says like these walls they're good, but people can get over them. I know because I did that. She's like okay, and she's like. And who's up in that sniper clock tower and everything? He's like, oh, that's just put there. No one's actually there. He's like, no one, like, everyone, like, no one's actually there?
He's kind of being like, how the hell did these people survive for this long?
He's, like, very
upset.
Not
happen. He's like, nothing happened to them.
He's so upset. He's like, how?
Yeah. Yeah. So, Sasha, volunteers to go up in the tower.
She said for every day. She said, every day. I want to do every day. She's like, no. And it's like, you guys got to do one thing first. It's like, what's that? Come to my house for a party. And they're like,
yeah, and it's kind of just really just like the people who live there, either something's up or they just don't, like, get the way that the world works. It could be a little bit
of the Alexandria people.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay. Yeah. I think it's literally that because I think they were able to fix everything at the very beginning.
Yeah,
like able to protect themselves around because they said there's some people, but not a lot of people that were from the outside. Mm-hmm. So obviously it's shown, and I think the husband was actually out there for a little bit because he said to Rick at the party once they go to the party, saying. Oh, you brought in, 10, 14... He said, a number, 8 people, and I just put up a wall. You obviously know a lot better. Like, he even admits to it.
Yeah. Said, I think 14 people, I believe.
Yeah, 14. Yeah. He said, you brought in 14, and I just put up a wall. You obviously done a hell of a lot better than me.
Yeah.
So, even Rick's, at least, they know. They know, who's top dog.
Exactly.
So, he has, that type of amnesty to them.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, Daryl and Aaron, they were going on
Well, Daryl was out hunting and
Aaron was also out.
Aaron was also Aaron was also out hunting. So Daryl ran into them and then they start talking and they Daryl kind of opens up to him a little bit
in his Daryl way.
Yeah, in his own Daryl way. And then he kind of starts putting that trust towards him, and Aaron, you kind of get the feel that he is an actual good character.
Yeah.
Good person.
Oh, he's definitely good now. I mean, we noticed.
Yeah, where it's like some of the Alexandria people, you're still kind of like
too happy to Dory.
Yeah, you're too fake, or you too like I don't know.
So then Aaron's like, oh, there's Buttons. Buttons the horse.
Buttons the horse. Buttons, no. Yeah.
Why couldn't he live?
Yeah.
So spoiler, but they were trying to get Buttons back. You know, a horse that has run away, and. You know, they tried, but zombies got him.
But the walkers got to him. They tore him apart, and now Buttons is done.
Put down. Glue factory for him.
So
I don't know if Alexandria has that too. I mean, they have everything else there, so why not glue factory? So Carol made cookies.
Who cares?
Yes.
All right. Party at the mayor's house. They go for the party. Rick meets Jessie's husband.
Yep.
It's kind of like an awkwardness there.
Slightly. You also meet like the other son, Sam.
Yeah.
Like, she has a big family with this guy. You got 3 sons probably.
And then Rick after the party like steals this creepy kind of like kiss with Jessie, and just like kisses her like ever so gently on the cheek. That's like not a friendly kiss, but also like not a like make out kiss.
It was definitely major flirtatious.
Yeah, but it was really kind of like creepy, and like even as the viewer, you're kind of like that was weird.
Why'd you do that, Rick?
Yeah. So it's like either go for it or don't like don't dance around it. So that happened, and then she smiles, and then they see each other later, and she's like, "Hey, Rick."
Yeah.
And
but anyway, also during the party, actually a little moment with Abraham and Michonne. You know, like Abraham.
Yeah, I couldn't tell what was going on there either. I was like, are they gonna make out? I don't know.
No. He was just plainly drunk. He was just happy, and he's like, this place is nice. It honestly is truly nice. And Michonne's like, yeah. And then he's like, I forgot what words he said. Is like, what have you done when you got here? He's like, I put on this dress. He's like, no, what have you done?
Yeah.
Like as in to change. And so Michonne actually changed. She didn't hang up her sword. She hung up her sword unsheathed, which means it's still ready to go.
Yeah,
but she's safe.
Yep, exactly.
But she feels this place is safe for at least to have it on display.
Yeah, and then we have Sasha flip out. So, So she's still going through that like.
She had some visions. Like if you saw really bits and clips, you saw like some of her brother Tyrese like eating at the dinner and stuff like that.
She's still going through the post-traumatic stress disorder thing.
She's going through with so many because she lost like a lot of family.
Yeah.
She lost her apparently boyfriend of Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was like some things going on with that, right?
Yep. And then her brother, and so this so she's not fitting in well
at all because she's not saying like. You're worried about what was it like?
About making some like bad food. Like that's what you're worried about. You're not worried about like the death that's beyond the fences.
So yeah, these people have definitely lived.
They just don't get it.
It's not like they don't get it. I think they got it. It's just that I think they've been too happy. They're too safe.
They're too civil for this type of world.
Exactly. They're too civil, but I think like they've gotten really soft.
Yes,
like,
definitely.
They very marshmallow. And anyway, after that, or during that, I should say, Daryl was about to go in, but he's like, "Nah, I'm not going to that party. It's lame." And then he goes and hangs out with Aaron and Eric for spaghetti dinner.
Yep, has a spaghetti dinner, and then they give him the garage full of all the motorcycle parts.
Convenient for that character,
right? So that's kind of like Aaron's way of like being like, you can trust me here, like take this.
But not only that,
and then he offers them the job to be a recruiter for them.
To be the new recruiter, because he doesn't want to do it, and he doesn't want Eric to do it either. So he says, Daryl, you'll be a good job for this. He's like, well, why me? It's like, you can tell between a good person and a bad person.
Yeah, and you're cut out for it because you can go out there and handle yourself out.
Yeah, and Daryl's like, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Like, he actually, like, he feels...
So he's coming around now. This is the episode that Daryl did come around.
Yeah, and during the scene of trying to steal the guns from the armory,
Jessie's son, Sam,
catches Carol
stealing the guns.
At least a couple of, like, pistols.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like anything...
Well, that's what they said. They said if we take a couple pistols, they'll never know because no one ever takes them out.
Exactly.
So that's what they did.
But Sam is like, I have to tell my mom. My mom tells me everything. Like, this is like an 8-year-old kid. Like, literally a kid. Like, Carl season 1 kid. So Carol does... Well, I didn't think her character
Carol
would do.
Very just like Morbid was just like, if you tell anyone, I'm going to take you outside the wall, tie you to the tree, and the walkers are going to tear you apart while you're still alive, and no one will know. That's basically what she said in a longer, in a longer, more drawn out sentence. And this kid's like 8, so it was like, all right, Carol, like,
I'm surprised that kid didn't even piss his pants. And then she's like, or I'll give you cookies for a very long time.
Yeah.
And you don't get, and any of that will never happen to you.
Now, also, I mean, they're taking the guns, but it's like, really, no one's going to notice that, like, 5 handguns are missing?
These are the same people who were talking about needing a pasta maker. The same what they really wanted.
I don't know.
Pasta maker through this whole episode.
So
then the 3 would group again, Carol, Daryl, and Rick. And they all got together, and Daryl's like the first one to say, it's like, do we really need this?
Yeah.
Like, I really...
And at the beginning of the episode, you would think he would be the one that would be like, give me that...
Well, that's what he was. Like, later in the beginning of the episode, he's like, yeah, we gotta do this.
Yeah.
And then, like, you even see, like, Rick hesitate for a moment. You saw him hesitate. And
it's because Daryl had switched. That's why. Because I think he caught Rick off guard, and he was like, wow, if Daryl's thinking this...
But he also looked at his hand, which got the stamp A, which was their, like, little initiation type. Yeah. So you saw, like, he went for a little bit, like, he went hesitant, and then he just took it. And Carol's just, like, all down, like, for that. I thought the exact opposite was going to happen with the characters. I thought Carol's going to be like, no, it's peaceful and everything, and Daryl's going to be like, that's a great character
Daryl's
change.
really good at putting the front on and being like, okay, let's bake cookies, take these guns.
Yeah,
like,
You know. Then you got, Rick...
Well, then at the end of the episode, they're walking. The 3 of them kind of, like, go in separate paths. In, like, a symbolism way of, like, showing that they're...
breaking apart.
And they're choosing their own route. And then Rick sees Jessie again, and Jessie waves. And then he, like, gives the husband this, like, evil, like, snide look. And then just, like, puts his hand on his gun.
Yeah, not like his holster gun, but, like, the gun that he just put there.
Yeah.
So he really wants to get rid of that guy, which we said, like, he wants the whole world of, like, dominance and stuff like that.
Yep.
So Rick is definitely,
He just has a thing for Jessie, and he wants to...
He just wants
that guy out of the picture. So...
And not only that, but Rick just started to just keep walking, and then, like, this weird 60s music, like, came on, like, a happy-go-lucky music and everything, which is very... odd for the show, because usually it's like always like southern music, because it's in like Alabama or something. I forget what they're at, but
they're all over.
Atlanta, that was it. But anyway, like the music gets louder every time he gets closer to the wall, and you just see him like wanting over there, and you just see like the walker wanting to get in, and you see Rick wanting to get out.
Yeah, so it's kind of like he's kind of maybe like homesick of like the outside from where they used to be, but then at the same time you're also getting. What you said before is the whole group is turning into the bad guys.
But yet that's what's so funny though, because they had the prison, like with all these other people too. So like, why? You mean a season went by, like not even like literal season, like maybe like 2 weeks since the actual prison fell.
2 weeks? No, it's been much longer than that. Because they went to Terminus and everything, and they were all out on their own and everything.
Yeah, but how long was... Yeah, exactly. They're all on their own.
But that whole season wasn't a week long.
It felt like a week long. Yeah, because all they did was just kept walking. It's like, oh, that's not too far. And everyone else did the same thing.
No, it was longer than that.
Oh, whatever. Maybe a month tops.
It's longer than that, I think, too.
Anyway.
But, anyway, yeah.
Next week,
we are seeing them turn into the villains. If you haven't realized that by now, that's basically what's happening.
At least that's what we are seeing.
Yeah.
But next week's episode, that looks action-packed and looks like a lot of stuff is going to go down.
It does, and you know what? They've caught me off guard before, so I don't know. I hope it is action-packed, but this episode, in my opinion, was just boring, not good, and they could have done it all in 10 minutes. And it was one of the filler drawn-out episodes of The Walking Dead that I fucking hate.
It was filler, I'll give you that. But was it necessary? Halfway. Halfway necessary. You know, it definitely gave Daryl enough character development, and Carol and Rick. That's were their main 3. So you needed that growth. It did
develop their characters, but you could have done that in such a shorter time span.
But yeah, but
if you want to see me call it, say our review from last week when I called this episode.
We're tying into all those.
Yep.
Well, see how great I am just with my natural face and looks in every other episode.
So check out all of our other episodes. Remember to like, favorite, and subscribe.
As always.
And we will see you next week. We have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. review, which will come up later this week.
And also watch our card game that we played.
Yes, that will be up also sometime later this week.
All right, folks. Have a good one.
All right. See you next week.